us. Thank you, Donovan, for the time. So we'll start off with questions. The first one is from Trevor.
Hey, Donovan, last year the coaches were just really high on how you graded and your performance. In the summer, Coach Christensen mentioned that he wanted to see even more physicality out of you this year. How did you look to add that into your game in the last few months?
I mean, throughout the off season, the short or long, depending on how you look at it, I just been focusing on the weight room, putting weight on, because last year I played around in the 270s. The heaviest I probably played was like at 285. So I just been working on putting on my weight. I'm like sitting around 295, 300 right now. It's just bouncing back and forth between that. And yeah, just a mindset, because now that I'm not the new guy coming in, I got to kind of become more of a leader out there. So,
Jacob.
Hey, Donovan. So you said that last year the heaviest that you roughly played at was 280. So you put on roughly what, 15 to 20 pounds this offseason? What do you think is the optimal playing weight for you, and kind of what has it done for you to add that extra weight?
I mean, I would say honestly, like about right where I am, like 295, 300 tops would be good, just so I could keep the quickness, because I feel like that's one of the advantages I have compared to some of the other linemen in our conference, is that I have quick feet. So just in the zone schemes and stuff, I could get to my spots before they're there. And then just the additional weight helps with things like bull rush, like setting. I have more of a presence out there.
Trevor.
So Coach Christensen also talked about the way you guys were able to get installs in the spring with Coach Hill's offense. What things did you do in the last few months to either work on technique or continue to familiarize yourself with this offense, even though you guys weren't able to necessarily be around each other?
Yeah, I mean, we just been in our playbooks, and then we've been installing this offense ever since Coach Hill got here in the spring. So we've had a lot of time to go over the plays, like repeatedly. We've probably went through our whole playbook like 3 different times just to get it locked into our heads, so that when we get out on the field, we don't really have to think. It'll become more just muscle memory.
Hod.
Hey, Donovan, you remember that last offseason, Kate Cote worked so hard to put himself in a position to be a starting center, then had an unfortunate injury, actually forced you to play center a little. Just talk about having now Cade back in the fold. How much has he helped not only you personally, but stabilizing the entire line?
Yeah, so Cade's been here for a long time. He knows, we changed our playbook, but as far as like our calls and stuff on the field, they're pretty similar, like within the O-line. So he knows that, like, it's like locked into his head. Like he has that memorized since he's been here with Coach C. And like since me, Cade, and Darius, like we're the only 3 that had playing time last year from the team last year. So just having Cade out there, it's like he's another person that Coach C kind of expects to make the calls and stuff. Like, so he's just another person that I could rely on, as well as the other guys in our unit.
Zach.
Donovan, what have you learned from some of the older guys in the group? You've got plenty of age range now in this O-line room. What are some of the things in the past few weeks that you've learned from the grad transfers as well as Cade Cody?
Just probably like individual little technical things that I could either add to my game, or just things I need to be more aware of. Like today, pocket presence, like knowing where the quarterback is, because I went to chop a defender and Henry just let me know, like, I got to remember that if the quarterback is back there, I might not want to use that type of move, just because we don't want to throw the D lineman into the quarterback's legs. So just little things that I could add to my game, I'd probably say was what they helped me with the most.
Jacob.
I remember last year on multiple occasions, you had talked about how opposing players would talk to you about how you were small and how you were young, and it was kind of, they used it as this kind of tactic against you. How have you kind of changed yourself in that way, and how much was that motivation for you to kind of put yourself in the position you are now, where you are as a sophomore?
I mean, yeah, like I would say a lot of them try to target that as like to get into my head and stuff, but it's football. Like they're gonna always try and come up with something to throw you off your game. So, I mean, it is like they could say whatever they want. I'm gonna just focus on what I gotta do, And I like to talk back to them a little bit too. So when I make a good play here or there, I like to get into their ears about it too.
Jeff.
With this offense doing a lot of shifting and motions, what kind of responsibility does that put on the line to make sure that you're not, that you're not committing any kind of penalties?
Yeah, okay. So like with our shifts and motions and stuff, it's really beneficial for our offense just because like defense won't be able to key in as much on like our cadence and stuff like that. Like we have more opportunities to switch it up, as well as for the quarterback to see the alignment of the defense pre-snap with all the motions and stuff. But I would say the only thing that it really adds to the O-line's difficulties would be just paying attention to the details, because when you're making all your calls and stuff, you might not hear what cadence we're going off of. So that's one thing, as well as like the motion. Sometimes if they're in zone, it'll bring an extra player into the box because the receiver's leaving. So just little things like that we got to be aware of on which linebackers we're working to on our double teams.
Doug.
Donovan, what's the biggest change you've noticed in Jaden Daniels so far?
I feel like he's more comfortable than last year. Like I would never say he was really rattled or anything, but since we've had so many times like to go through our offense and stuff, I feel like he definitely has things under control, as well as the respect of all the other players. Because really, like last year, yeah, he was our quarterback and stuff, but there's still a lot of senior presence, and I feel like this year, like he's like really the main guy that we all look to on the offense.
Hod.
Donovan, obviously you had a lot of veterans on the line last year, but now you being a sophomore, you have the whole left side of the line being grad transfers. Cade Cote, a 6-year senior. Does this line feel maybe in some ways a little more mature than it was last year?
To be honest, I feel like that's something that we'll have to see as time goes on, like in the games and stuff, because it's like hard to gauge like practice a little bit just because you're going through the same people every day. You get to learn people's techniques and stuff. But I would say that as time's gone on, like definitely as more time's gone on, I've just built more chemistry with Kellen and Cade, because we've had a good amount of time to practice in the off season, just like stuff.
And I'm sorry, I'll follow, just another question. Going up against a 4-man front versus a 3-man front that you did last year, easier, harder, no difference?
I mean, in my personal opinion, I would say whatever front there is, like at guard, it doesn't make a difference. But when I was playing center, I felt like it was harder to have a nose just because someone is directly aligned on top of you. But from a guard standpoint, I'd say it's pretty even.
Last question, Jacob.
Considering everything you were able to accomplish last year, when you look forward to this coming season, what are some of the things that you feel you still have left to accomplish? What are your goals for this year, and kind of how do you improve on what you've already done?
I mean, I got to take it one game at a time, but some goals out for my team, it would be winning the South and then winning the Pac-12 championship. And then personal goals, I mean, I would love to have given up 0 sacks on the year. Like, I think that would be something that would be pretty good, just because, I mean, that's what I'm doing, protecting the quarterback. And then, be better than I was last year, keep improving.